Hey, it's Brent of the Brent and Brenda real estate team. Back today, I'm here with Marvin Nassis, my tax advisor, and we're talking about the expiration or the pending expiration of the Mortgage Debt Relief Act of 2007. Set to expire at the end of this year. There's talk of extending it, but that has not been determined, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. But if that act does expire, it could have some tax implications for many folks, especially throughout the country. Maybe though in Arizona, not as much as it would affect some of the other states. Marvin, first off, thanks for sitting down with me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Talk a little bit about what the Mortgage Debt Relief Act was designed to do, and if and how it maybe relates to Arizona at the end of this year, whether it's expired or not expired.
Well, a number of years ago when the recession began, the government realized that there would be lots of people who would have their home foreclosed, but nevertheless have a gain on the foreclosure. And that seems to be a confluence of events which would be very negative to the taxpayer. So as one of the relief provisions that the government put in place in 2007, the government said that any gain on the sale of a home up to $1 million per person or $2 million for a joint return, there would be no tax due if the property was used solely as a personal residence. And my experience has shown in the last 5 years this act has been taken advantage of by many of my clients because very typically people could have gains on the sale of their home but yet not have a job or the income to make the payments. And it is a definite matter of concern that the act expires at the end of 2012 with no real guidance as to whether it will be extended. So a cautious person would say, well, since I don't know if it's going to be extended, I am going to do my short sale or get my foreclosure done in 2012. So right now, that's the best advice anybody can give.
Of course, we're coming up to the end of 2012, so if you're thinking of doing a short sale, chances are that's not going to happen and get it closed by the end of 2012. So let's just say, for example, though, Marvin, that I bought a house, say 3 years ago. It was my original purchase money. I did not do any refinancing. I just got in over my head, lost my job, couldn't make my house payments. And I know you can't really generalize because everybody's situation is so unique, it's so different. But a majority of those folks, because Arizona is considered a non-recourse state, even as we go into 2013, it's my understanding that they still may not owe taxes, even though their short sale is not completed before the end of the year.
That is correct. In a short sale or a foreclosure, typically the lender, once the lender agrees to take your house or agrees to let you sell it, the lender has no recourse against you. However, that does not mean that you don't have a gain on the sale of the house. That's always possible. But then there's some other tax laws that come into effect, and these tax laws mainly say that every person who's owned a home for at least a year can exclude the first $250,000 of gain, and for a couple that would be $500,000. So, with or without the Mortgage Relief Act, the first $500,000 of gain for a typical married couple would incur no income tax. And given the economy and the lower house prices that we've seen in the last number of years, it would be very unlikely for anybody to have more than a $500,000 gain on a house and incur some tax. It definitely is possible if you bought your home a long time ago at a very low price and the house escalated in value and you do have a gain, and for whatever reason you can't make the house payments and you lose the house, it's very possible to lose your house and have to pay a small amount of income tax. But as Brent said, every case is different. Every case requires a detailed analysis, and it is just important for me to have all the documents and knowledge of what happened with your house from the day you bought it until the day you sold it.
Yeah, it's a great point. I would caution everybody is just don't be overly concerned about the end of the 2012, the expiration date of the tax, the Mortgage Debt Relief Act, because it doesn't necessarily mean you're definitely going to owe taxes if you do your short sale in 2013. So it's things like this to keep in mind. You know, we're asked constantly, you know, will I or won't I owe taxes? And that's really a question, unfortunately, that because that's not our area of expertise. It's Marvin's area of expertise. It's something that as your realtor we can't do for you, but we can definitely point you in the right direction and get you in touch with somebody like Marvin. So Marvin, for all of my clients out there who are listening and watching, how do they get in contact with you?
Okay, my business phone number is 602-997-6488, or you can email me at spacewalk1, the number 1, at cox.net.
All right. Listen, I think it's great information. Thank you for your time. As always, I hope this answers some of your short sale question, and especially that tax question. The Mortgage Debt Relief Act is a big deal, but you not necessarily are going to owe taxes if you don't get your short sale completed by the end of 2012. So, as always, if you have more questions, please give us a call, 602-380-2049, or you can visit us online at www.myarizonashortsaleteam.com for more information.